Hello class, welcome back. Today I'll be discussing with you how to reference APA style. In particular, to make a direct quotation, right? If we just recap on our last lesson, we were talking about paraphrasing. Remember, paraphrasing is when you want to use a piece of information, for example, from a book or a website, in your own essay, but you're going to read that piece of information, that passage, and you're going to think about it, and then you're going to reword it and put it down in your essay. That's when you're going to rewrite it. Okay, so essentially you are rewording it, rephrasing it in your own words. But because the original idea of the information is not yours, you need to tell the reader that this idea is not mine, it belongs to someone else. So that's when you would paraphrase, right? So just quickly to recap there, key things to remember would be the last name of the author you always use when paraphrasing. So in this case, let's say Smith, the last name of the author in a book or even a website, you'd use the author's last name, never the first or the middle name. Following that, you'd have open brackets, the year of publication would follow that. So in this case, 2015, for example, in parentheses or brackets. And then following that, you would have your reporting verb, right? So for example, claims, you could use, there are many kinds of reporting verbs. Argues, mentions, or even states you could use. So there are many different types of reporting verbs, which would then essentially link your reference to your paraphrase. What next would be your summary, what you have reworded. Okay. So key things to remember, always the last name, followed by the year, and then you'd have your reporting verbs, and then following this, you would have your summary, what you have reworded from the original piece of text. Right. So that's a quick recap on how to paraphrase. Now, let's say you would like to use the exact same words as what an author has in a book or a website. You can do that, but it's going to be slightly different format from paraphrasing. So you'd first start off the same as with paraphrasing. You'd always use the person's last name. Let's use Smith again. Smith would be the last name of the author of the information. So Smith, same with paraphrasing again. You'd have open brackets followed by the year, 2015. Now the only difference here from paraphrasing is that you'd have a comma and you'd have page number. In this case, page 108, and you'd close the brackets, close the parentheses, right? So last name, always Smith, open brackets, 2015, comma, page number, this time is included. So paraphrasing, we don't need to include the page number, but for direct quotation, we need to, and then close brackets. Okay. Following this, you would have your actual direct quotation. You would have your quotation marks open, and then you would write exactly what the author has written in his or her piece of work, and then you close quotation mark. So the reader knows that actually this information here that you've used is not yours. It belongs to Smith. Smith has written this word for word, because you've copied word for word, right? You haven't rephrased it. You're copying exactly what is written in the book or on the web page. But by using quotation marks here, you're signaling to the reader that actually this is not my piece of work, this is exactly the piece of work from Smith there, right? So let's just go over this one more time. So your task is writing an essay, and you'd like to use some key information, exactly what an author has mentioned. You can do that. But the way you do it is to use a direct quote, right? So, key information, last name, always, again, Smith, right? Open brackets, followed by the year, say 2014 this time, comma, page number this time, 107, let's say, close, yeah, your brackets, and then you'd have quotation marks around the sentence that you're copying directly from a book or website, and close the quotation marks. So this signals to the reader that actually this belongs to Smith. Yeah, this is what Smith has written, not you. Okay, because you have quotation marks around the sentence that you copy directly. Okay, it's from Smith, year 2014, and the page number. If I want to look up the page number to look at this piece of information, I can just go straight to the page. Right, page 107, for example. So, slightly different from paraphrasing. Yeah. The difference being this time you'd actually add the page number, right? Unlike paraphrasing where you don't. And obviously you'd have quotation marks around the words or sentence that you have copied directly from the book or website. Alright, so that's how to reference APA style direct quotation. Thank you very much.